welcome to Motors Television's coverage of the final round of the 2011 World Rally Championship, Wales Rally GB. Well, weather has caused dramas, and Mikko Järvinen had taken the lead of the rally when this happened, clattering off the road, severe damage to the radiator, some desperate attempts to repair it, but Järvinen was out. Of course, that meant number 1 on the back of that cap would be worn. Again, an 8th World Championship sealed for Sebastian Loeb, with Järvinen's retirement on the Friday. So, Wales Rally GB, the service park at Bylthwells, north of Cardiff, and some 250 k's west of London. 23 stages, and starts in Llandudno in the northern part of Wales with the Great Orme stage that last used in 1981, won by the legendary Frenchman Jean Ragnotti. For another fast Frenchman is Sébastien Ogier, but too fast on that opening stage, clatters into the rock face. New dramatic pictures showed that that was the end of Ogier's charge. Loeb, however, was flying. He was that rally leader in the early part of the day until Järvinen took over. Worked his way closer and closer until this moment on stage 6. What looked like a harmless spin initially, but then the damage to the radiator. It was apparent as he got to the end of the stage that was going to be it. Frantic work by him and his co-driver Jarmo Leitinen, and other stuff suggested by the team meant they did all they could, but it was apparent damage was far too severe.
That's the end of it.
That's the end of it, said Mikko Järvinen. Walks away dejected, but a strong year yet again from the Finn. The guys back at base tried everything they could, but the glory yet again went to Loeb.
Mikko was just 8 turns behind, so anything could happen, and it was very tricky. So with that, to stay on the road for 4 days was quite difficult. He's done the first mistake, so now he retired, and now we are world champions, so that's for sure a great moment for us, and a bit difficult to believe, because we are in the middle of a rally, and it's a strange feeling, but for sure very happy.
Loeb continued to push, but pushing equally as hard was Jari-Matti Latvala, taking 3 stage wins, getting to within 1.1 seconds of Sebastian Loeb at the end of Friday's action. Equally impressive was young Mads Osberg, climbing into 3rd position, his first podium position since the opening rally in Sweden. Fighting hard with his countryman Petter Solberg, who had a big off on stage 1, clattering into a curb, but somehow managed to survive a spin later on. But it was between Petter and Mads, the fight for the podium position, all Norwegian, with Henning and his brother not that far behind. So that's what it looks like. Loeb leads Latvala by 1.1, with Osberg 1:13 behind. Petter Solberg still very close to a podium position. And then Henning Oit-Tanak on the D-Mac tyres in his debut in a WRC car ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. Meek, who had some dramas during the day, Matt Wilson and Dennis Kuipers rounding out the top 10. So with stages on Thursday and Friday, it meant that day 3 was the Saturday. 6 stages, 128 k's, including the longest stage of the rally, the Hafren stage. And that's where the action started after a very early start, leaving service. And this was the first massive development. Petter Solberg's car developed a fuel leak, which caused a fire, and the 2003 world champion was forced to retire his Petter Solberg World Rally Team car, and that was the end of his participation. Of course, Solberg was the last man before Sebastian Loeb to be world champion. How much longer is the French are going to hold on to this crowd? And certainly, judging by the level of commitment on the opening stage, this 32.1 k stage, there's no doubt he was starting a day with plenty of fire. But it was apparent as Jari-Matti Latvala came into the stage, the Latvala was on an absolute mission.
Droite à fond, sur gauche 155, pas corde de frein, pour droite 90 plus corde légère. Et gauche 90 Montard. Et droite 110. Et droite 110 semi-Montard. Sur gauche 120 moins.
Bright and clear morning in North Wales, meaning that slightly dry conditions perhaps helping Latvala behind him, but certainly by the midway point it looked like Latvala was on for taking some serious time out of Loeb. That charge at the end of the Friday's stages showed that Jari-Matti Latvala had got to within 1.1 seconds of Sebastian Loeb. Woke up bright and breezy on Saturday morning, complained of a headache on the day one, and his physio managed to work on some trapped nerves in his neck, and that certainly seems to have worked for him. 4.9 seconds ahead of Loeb at the fifth split. But then later in the stage, a mistake at a junction saw him run wide, stall the car and lose 9 seconds. He ended up losing time to Loeb after being so far ahead on that opening stage of Saturday. Difference being some 5.8 seconds. Loeb took out of Latvala. The gap now 6.9 at the top of the leaderboard. Mads Osberg, meanwhile, pressed throughout the day on day two, the Friday, got himself up into third, and now a clear third, of course, with the retirement of Petter Solberg. Dominant 35 behind Jari-Matti Latvala coming into this stage. Right on this rally last year. Really come back to form after having to miss Rally Australia for budgetary reasons. Comes through with the fifth fastest time on the stage. Well, Henning was sixth last year and fifth the year before. Co-driver Ilkka Maino was second on this rally in 2006 when co-driving Manfred Stoll. Of course, very proud to win the Michael Park Award. The co-driver of the year, in memory of the late Beef, as he was known to his friends. He lost his life here in 2005. Henning, meanwhile, focusing on a neat and tidy drive, trying to bring the car a little bit closer to Osberg.
60. Flat left to a crest. 100. Flat 6 left. 120. 5 right. 180. Line to 3 right. Opens flat 5 plus, long. 120. Flat short 6 left plus. 120. Oops, 6 right plus. Over 200. Tight 3 plus.
Comes through with the 8th fastest time on the stage. But this young man, Oit Tanak, was the winner here last year in the production category. Mitsubishi and Rally Star Drives, of course. His debut in a WRC car has been superb so far. And slightly unusual that he's running on the Chinese DMAC tyres. It's the distinctive livery on the Fiesta. Of course, mentored by Marco Martin, World Championship Rally winner himself. Another outstanding run by him. That's third fastest time on stage 12. Superb by Oit Tanak. Secures his 5th overall, some 21.5 behind Henning Solberg at this stage. Well, for the 2009 IRC champion Chris Meek, relishing rallying on home soil. Rally GB, and of course for his team. Alternator problems early on day 2, but incredible performance on stage 8 to be second fastest, and then even better still, fastest on stage 9. Apparent though, car not running as sweetly as it could be. Was to be 9th fastest time for Chris Meek on the opening stage of Saturday. Problems for Kimi Raikkonen. Finished in the points here last year. It was only a second off of Tanak. This spin into a ditch costing a significant amount of time, and ultimately was to cause the 2007 F1 World Champions retirement. Frustrating end to the season for the Iceman. Pulling over. What's this? Is the car out of the rally? No, he lets that looked to me like getting Novikov through. So courtesy from Raikkonen, but frustration nevertheless for the Finn. After a solid performance, he worked himself into the points on stage 7. So it looks like this. Loeb leads lap by 6.9. Osberg now a solid 3rd. After Peter Solberg's retirement, everybody else moves up, of course. Ken Block now in the points, the American relishing Rally GB. And of course, the Mini drivers proud to be representing their manufacturer on their home rally. So the fight is well and truly on between Ford and Citroën, between Loeb and Latvala. Who will prevail? We'll find out in a moment on MotorsTV. Welcome back to Wales Rally GB after stage 12, the opening one of Saturday morning. Loeb leads Latvala by 6.9 as the stages start to open up for the rest of the day. Meek and Sordo representing Mini have had some tremendous results so far. Sordo 2 podiums, Meek a couple of fastest stage times already.
To the end of 2011, how would you rate your year so far with the Mini team?
Yeah, I think we've got results which is beyond our expectations. Obviously Danny has performed very well on tarmac. We know how fast he's been on tarmac in the last 6 years in the World Championship, so that was no real surprise. But yeah, as a team to bring a new car into the championship and come straight in, and fight for podiums on the 3 tarmac rallies, and Danny fought for the win very hard in France. So it is beyond where we thought we'd be, but now we really need a big push to move the whole team forward to the next level, because for sure we're not at the top yet, but we have a long list of developments we want to do to the car, and we know how good it can be. But yeah, a little bit frustrating at the minute, but we need a big push for next year.
The year honestly was not so bad. No, we do some podium, and we didn't expect for the podiums before the rallies, no, and at the end we do 2 podiums in Germany and France. In France we're fighting for the victory, so it was really nice. In tarmac, in gravel we work a little bit less in the car, and we are a little bit far from being the top.
Next year, what will the goals be?
Yeah, I think we this year was just a case of getting out there and seeing where we are, and next year we have to take it to the next level. We have this, we understand where points in the car where we can improve, and we're eager to get on with that, and that's what next year will be about as well. Next year obviously we'll be judged over the full season in a championship position, and Yeah, that's it's not our goal to win the championship next year, although we'll try our best on every rally to get the best results possible. But 2013 is where we're looking.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in 2012 and 13. But for 2011, we still have Sweetlam, and we still have the stages to finish off the afternoon. Sweetlam and Meherin after Hafren. Very short Sweetlam stage with water splashes, 4.01. You can see the wind farms in the distance tell you this is action from stage 14. Meherin sweeping up and downhill. And Falope on stage 13. Came through with a time of 2:48.8. Significant thing being on that stage, Jari-Matti Latvala was faster by 0.3 of a second.
Et droite 130 plus long fond pas corde. Droite 130 plus long fond pas corde. Et droite 140 plus mi long fond. 150 mètres.
15:44.6 for Loeb at Meherin, stage 14. So here is the man on a mission. He wins stage 13 after making a small mistake on stage 12 to show that the rhythm is back in Jari-Matti Latvala, 26-year-old Finn, pushing like crazy. Split times at the midway point, swinging between the leaders. Down by almost 2 seconds at the second split, got that back to just 1 second at the penultimate split, and it's pretty stabilised. It's going to be a very close run to the end of the stage. Comes through, second fastest to Loeb on stage 14 by 0.7, the gap now 7.3. Rosberg has been mighty throughout. Really the best of the privateers by a long way. He lost his rhythm a little bit on the second day when it was apparent he was in a podium position after Hjeveren went out.
Som öppnar halvlång och nyper 4 halvlång. Som öppnar nyper slå kort i smal 4 vänster minus.
Sixth fastest on stage 13. Was to come through fourth fastest on stage 14. Yeah, 1 minute and 43 behind Jari-Matti Latvala.
180, flat 6 left.
Well, fourth at the moment. On for his best finish of the season for Henning Solberg.
100. Katra 3 right minus.
8th fastest on stage 13. Consistently on or around that pace. His best has been a 4th fastest on day 2 in terms of stage times.
50, short 2 left plus. Stop flat 6 right. 100. Keep left to crest in flat 6 right minus. 50, short 5 left.
Gone through 8th fastest on stage 14 as well.
Go 6 right minus, half long 60. 3 left blue.
1 minute 10 ahead of his next rival. Wonderful shot of the commitment of 22-year-old Oitana.
40 tuppa 5 pluss ülipikk lõpp lahti 70 50 vasak 6 miinus
Third fastest on 12.
40 parem 4 miinus
Ära puhasta.
Stage 13 he was 5th fastest.
läheb 5 miinus pool pikk vasak 6 pluss tuleb 200 sirget ma lähen puhastama
By the young Estonian, we saw him take that big cut and clatter through a ditch. And it was to turn out that it had jammed the air intake with mud. And it meant some frantic scooping out by co-driver Sik, see if he could sort it out.
Okay.
Estonian pair clamber back aboard.
Okay.
Minä.
Was to cost him 2 minutes. Frustratingly drop him down the order to 8th position.
Right, late in the stage there. What happened? You were stopped for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, I was just doing some corrections in bass notes and I missed one tightening thing, and I got it next corner a bit too much and we blocked the radiator, so we were like cleaning it, so it took some time.
Well, the Mini perhaps not sounding as crisp as it has done earlier in the weekend, and it turned out that there had been some problems during the morning with a broken engine mounting on Chris Meek's car, moving things around and possibly even pulling a turbo pipe off, and understandably meaning that the pace wasn't quite there in the Dungannon man's car. Stage 13, the short stage of Sweet Lamb, going through 9th fastest, some 6.6, half of the quickest time in such a short stage, most unlike Meek, and then 8th fastest on stage 14.
Chris, there's a bit of a smile there now. At the end of the first one there wasn't. What was the problems?
We still have it. We have no turbo and the engine mounting's broken, so my gear shift is working intermittently. I have no turbo, I'm down, I don't know how many horsepower, so I'm just quite surprised at the time. Because I kept the throttle down since I left the start line till I got to the finish line. So.
Impressive performance in the circumstances for Chris Meek. Matthew Wilson, meanwhile, hit a rock early in the morning. Had that light problem. Visibility issues on the opening day on the Thursday evening on the Kleinhogsteg. With the problems that Meek's been having and the off that Oit Tanak had, is moving Matthew Wilson up the order in terms of split time so far, looking very good for moving up the order.
Like 4 plus in of a jump, and like 6 of a jump, 30.
Was to come through his 7th fastest time on the stage, but now moves up ahead of Meek and Tanak into 5th position, 1 minute 10 away from Henning Solberg. Dutchman Dennis Kuipers in a patriotically liveried orange Fiesta, still going well into the points on stage 5, and as you can see, still there now in 7th position with the problems for Tanak. But Loeb leads Lapala by 7.3, and that is the action that we're going to be focusing on.
Sebastian, 2011 World Rally Champion, 8 times World Rally Champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yes, like you say, it's we are only in the middle of the rally and we are champions, so it's a bit strange, but it's still good.
You've proved you've got the pace. Sebastian Loeb has taken this championship this weekend. Surely you can't let him take the win here as well.
Yeah, he's 8-time world champion. He's a tough guy to beat. But I'm really hungry for the victory. I really I know I have a chance now. I know the speed is there, but I'm doing too many mistakes, so I need to get those mistakes away, and then I could be there. But it just needs to get it clean, the driving.
Mads now in 3rd, but the gaps to the people around you are so huge. You're cruising now, but mentally that's a challenge. The only person you've really got to beat is yourself.
Yeah, that's true. It's a difficult situation, and especially this morning when we were on the start line of the first stage, just being so ready to fight, and just as we were about to start the stage, we got the message on the screen, and it was a big disappointment actually, because I was so ready to fight with Petter, and I cannot be sure if we had beaten him, but it would have been a nice fight, and it's a shame it didn't happen, but it's a good position for us now, and I will definitely try to cruise in the speed we are in now all the way to the end.
Petter, We're on Saturday here in Wales Rally GB. Retirement for the day, bitterly disappointing for you. Talk us through what happened.
Well, just cruising to the stage, and we just stopped in the village and said hello to my old co-driver's sister, like I do every year. And then we went on for 5-6 Ks, and the car took proper fire, and full fire on the windscreen, and you know, jumping out and just hit the fire button, and it was a crack in the fuel system in the front there, and that's it, you know.
A bitterly disappointing end to his campaign for 2011. Hopefully we will see Solberg back. For the time being, we will focus on the new world champion again, Sebastian Loeb, and Latvaler's fight. After the break, we'll show you the action on MotorsTV. Welcome back to MotorsTV's coverage of Wales Rally GB. And after stage 14, Sebastian Loeb has extended his lead to 7.3 seconds. So they go through the second pass through the Hafren stage, the longest stage of the rally. Very, very slippery at the start. It's become apparent from the crews that the top surface of loose mud seems to have cleaned a little bit. There's a bit more polished mud underneath, which seems to be affecting the confidence and levels of grip.
sur Gauchy. Et droite 157, ferme 130 bon Milon fait un arbre. 100 mètres. Gauche 130 Milon pas corde. Et gauche 130 moins Milon pas corde.
On this stage, Loeb did a 18:39.1.
80 mètres, change revette glisse, gauche 120 bon.
That is nowhere near as quick. 19:20.2 for Sebastian Loeb.
Gauche 110 mi-cours, 17,4. Gauche 110 mi-cours sur droite
grave. Of course, is going to be what does Jari-Matti Latvala do in terms of his times. Beautiful technique for Latvala there.
Jatkuu nyt keskeltä. 50. Paro nyt oikein 7, hämää ahdas. Heti vasen 3, paha sumppu. Heti vasen 6. Heti nyt oikein 7.
From the outset of the stage, Latvala was flying up by 1.3 and then increased it to 6.4 seconds at the midway point on this long stage. Saw the flamboyant technique he was using, proper finish rally driving in the forest. Right, with Jari-Matti Latvala, superb. And the time backs it up. Latvala comes through and wins the stage and takes the lead of the rally. He wins it by 8.6 seconds, now leads by 1.3. It's apparent that Mats Osberg had an engine issue, intermittent misfire. The crew had told him to keep it at high revs and just to try to maintain momentum. Loses 25 seconds to Henning Solberg. Osberg was still 5th fastest.
Flat short 6 left minus. Cut right over 100, short 5 left. 8.
Henning comes through with another solid time. 9th, 55 seconds ahead of this man, Chris Meek. Hopefully the turbo issue and the engine mount problem has been resolved at Bilthwell service. 5.2 seconds behind Matthew Wilson coming into the stage. By the midway point, it was apparent the Burren disasters. Meek was going to overhaul the Cumbrian driver, move ahead of him. He was some 20 seconds ahead at the midway point.
Long 6 left and right, 4 right minus, don't cut, watch it.
100. Right over crest and left 100, caution very slow. 3 right for 50. And middle over crest into 6 right over crest. 100 left for 80, slowing right to 4 minus. Don't go wide, watch it. 100.
Love the note from call from Paul Nagel. Watch it. But watch it, he didn't. He went for it completely. 38.7 seconds faster than Matthew Wilson to move up into 5th position on stage 15. After that horrific accident in 2005 in Wales for both of these crew members, for Wilson and for Martin. Some ghosts to put to rest, serious injuries ending their rally season quite significantly. Understeer being the problem apparently for Wilson. A rock in the morning as well.
Max right, 80. Left 6 minus in long, right 5. Max right in, 50. Slide right, 50. Slide right, 30, right 5. Continues in. And slide left, 40. Right 5 in long. Right 5 in long. 60. Slide left and right 6. Keep in half long. 20 left 2 minus long. Don't cut. Tight in. 30. Left 6 minus. Keep in long and slide right for brow. 20 right 6 minus on the brow. 30. Right 6 minus. Continued long. Keep in. Danger. 30 right 2 minus. In our crest. 3 plus fast, 140. Max right, 60, right 4 plus room, roll inside, 30. Max right 6, opens, 100. Max brow.
Come through with the 12th fastest time. As I mentioned, drops behind me now, but still 46.1 ahead of Dutchman Dennis Kuipers. Delivery as a result of a competition being run by the firm Power Tools that sponsor the car. Perhaps understandably, a patriotic orange livery was chosen. He's done a fantastic job so far in just chipping away, getting himself into the points on stage 5. And with the problems for Tanak, then for Meek has got himself up into 7th now. First Dutchman to score points in the World Rally Championship. And he put in a tremendous performance in France, top 6 as well, being his best personal result. Best ever result for a Dutchman rather, and certainly have been a solid performance throughout the season for Kuipers. Continues that performance here to finish off the season well on this current evidence, current form. Come through with another 10th fastest time. So after the dramatic off on stage 14, White Tanak, which cost him 2 minutes and dropped him down a few places. The young Estonian is fighting hard to get himself back into contention to move back up the order.
3 maha, läheb 2+. Ja vasak 2 seest maha. 30 paneb 4, vasak 4. 40 lühike paneb 6.
7th fastest. Now just 5.2 away from Dennis Kuipers. So Jari-Matti Latvala is the new rally leader. Second time we've seen Ford lead this rally. Will it last a bit longer than Mikko Kievarin's dramatic exit caused him to drop down the order. Osberg, Henning, Chris Meek and Matthew Wilson are our top 6. So the short 4.01 Sweet Lamb stage, a second pass through here. Water splashes aplenty and very spectator friendly. We're going to get a chance to ride through the entire stage with the world champion, Sebastian Loeb, the recrowned world champion, Sebastian Loeb. So let's sit back and enjoy the ride and see what stage 16 of Wales Rally GB looks like. Riding with Sebastian Loeb, Daniel Elena, 2011 World Rally Champions.
Et gauche long, 130 mètres, aux flèches, long ciel tout droit, frein raide pour 180 mètres devant banderole, droite ferme 120 moins long. Et gauchis, 100 mètres, gauche 130 bon mi-long gras. Sur droite à fond, ouvre long frein, glisse fort pour devant tas. Gauche 10 épingles. 200 mètres. Ciel pour droite, 140 bon mi-long. Et ciel tout droit. Sur léger droite, frein pour ciel sur 60 mètres. Droite 130 bon tard, gras d'anguet. Et bosse 3 plus tout droit sur frein de suite pour 70 mètres, droite 10 épingles. Et gauche ferme 90 plus très long bout. Et droite ferme 130 moins. En bosse 3 moins. Et bosse 4 moins vers droite sur frein pour 60 mètres. Droite sans long pied.
May have clinched the title, but he's not backing off. A tremendous committed attack through the second run. Sweet Lamb for Sebastian Loeb. He was second fastest to Lapala on the first pass. 3/10 slower. 2:48.5 was the time that Lapala put. 2:48.8 for Loeb.
Droite 130 moins long tard et gauche 120 plus mi-court. Sur droite et sur frein pour 60 mètres. Gauche ferme 80 long. Gauche ferme 80 long et droite ferme 80 moins long. Droite ferme 80 moins long, 150 mètres. Droite à fond long tard. Là maintenant, hein, ouais, dans celle-là spéciale. Droite à fond long tard et barrière sur 40 mètres.
J'ai pas compris. Loeb crosses the line in 2:51.0. Latvala was quicker by 2/10, so he now leads by 1.5 seconds. At the end of stage 16, just one stage remains on Saturday. Wales Rally GB. Osberg continuing on with his engine worries. Henning Solberg still holding off a charging Chris Meek. The rest of the top 10 make their way into the final stage of the day. Back with the action from Maharin, the second pass through. Can Latvala extend his lead, or will Loeb come back? We'll find out in just a moment on MotorsTV. So after the short stage of 16, just 4 Ks, back to one of the proper stages, 27.88 Ks of Maharin. Second pass through here. For Matthew Wilson. Come through on Sweet Lamb. 11th fastest time. For Chris Meek. 5th on stage 16. 7th going into stage 17, the final stage of the day. Really, the Mini working much better after service.
Right, 100, keep out, dangerous slowing, double tight, straight right minus lane. 80. 6 right, 150, open, 100. 6 left, open, 100. 6 left, 120. Slowing, 5 left, minus, we need to the 5.
was a mighty performance by Meek on the first pass through here with the problems he had. Fastest on stage 15, fifth on 16, and then it was to be seventh fastest on 17. Chris Meek was to end the day some 45 seconds away from Henning Solberg with 58 Ks remaining. On Sunday's action, it's doable. It's going to be a challenge, all down to whether Henning can keep a solid pace up and maintain. Will be his best result of the year. Fourth.
200.
Stay there still, fourth position. Motorsberg has done a tremendous job to make the best of a very difficult car. Engine's really not running cleanly. Adapt to enter the car and brilliant job to be fifth fastest on 15 and on 16.
I full vänster, 50 kort 4 höger minus, håll in över krön. I 6 vänster plus 100. Höger på krön, 50 kort 5 vänster plus 30 full höger.
Come through the fourth fastest time.
Sen kort 5 vänster plus som öppnar i halvlång krön 40.
Ogier, who's super rallied, now sits in a safe third position at the moment. Assuming the technical problems don't cause him any more dramas. Get through tidily on the final day. The podium is on for Motorsberg. So Sebastian Loeb has pushed hard. Perhaps the second pass is through. Not worked in his favour in terms of the condition of the roads. Saw him come through with the second fastest time on stage 16. Final stage of the day going to throw up for him and Lappalan.
50 mètres, attention, droite 123 plus, ferme 90 plus, sur gauche 120 plus aux cordes, ouvre et ferme 130 moins 1000 tard à 120 mètres, sur droite 10, sur attention, gauche 137 bon tard frein, pour droite 80 long.
Comes through with a time of 16.020. With interest to see what Matti Lappala can do on this final stage. He's been absolutely superb. Stages 16 and 15. Stage 13 as well, a couple of wins below.
Hetiposen 5 aukeaa vähän yli pitkä älä.
And on Loeb at the first couple of splits. 0.9 seconds slower at the second split, but turned that into a 1.9 advantage, so finally 2.7 seconds. And just continued increasing that. Almost 5 seconds ahead at the penultimate split.
Heti oikein 5 liahtaa sillan. Heti oikein 4, jatku oikein 5. Heti vasen 2. 50 vasen 6. Jatku oikein 2.
1.6 second lead that Lappala had coming into this final stage.
Heti nyppy vasen 5.
He was to come through to win the final stage of the day by 4.6 seconds. Now leads Sebastian Loeb by 6.1 going into the final day. Osberg a safe third at the moment ahead of Henning Solberg, who could be under pressure from Chris Meek, with Matthew Wilson leading. Kuipers a recovering Oik Tanak, who's almost on his tail, and Novikov still going, and then Ken Block rounds out the points.
Seb, what a battle it's been with yourself and Jari-Matti Latvala today. He now leads at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, it was really fast in the afternoon. It was when it's very slippery, like in the second pass here, it's very muddy and you have no grip at all. And in this condition, he was really pushing hard, very fast. So I couldn't really match his speed in the long stage, and so now he's leading. So it's 6 seconds. Everything is still possible for tomorrow.
Yeah, Matti, what a day it's been for you. Sebastian Loeb says he can't do any more. You've got him rattled. You can win this rally.
Yeah, it looks good now, but hey, there's one day to go. And on Sunday when we go to Stacy's, where Sebastian Loeb has been probably the strongest in this rally ever. So he has, you know, when he were fighting 2009 with Mikko, that's where he made an attack on those Kurikanen halfway. So I need to be prepared for that.
We're hearing reports of engine problems. You must be delighted to be here. At least you're back.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be back, and the team seem to have found the problem now through the data, and that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, it's not optimal for the car, but and there is an issue with the engine, but it's not no drama. We will definitely get to the end. So I'm happy to hear that, and we will just continue driving the same way as we are doing now. We will have to change the driving a little bit, which we have done now in the afternoon, and we will continue with that in the morning to make sure the car will come through, and also I have to get through the rally tomorrow. So it will probably be one of the longest Sundays I've ever had.
It will be a long Sunday, but it's going to be a thrilling one, and we will bring you all the action on MotorsTV. Final day, we'll see 6 stages, 3 stages run twice, a total of 84 Ks, and of course the all-important power stage, which will be the monument stage, 4.36 Ks of action to finish off and to get some extra points. Well, Solberg out, that is Petter, Henning still going, Loeb and Latvala fighting hard, Kimi had an off, unfortunately is out. Tanak had a little minor one, managed to get going again. We are going to be watching with interest to see who will come out on top in the final rally of the year. Make sure you join us on MotorsTV. See you soon. Bye-bye.